Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. We are streaming live on YouTube. And of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! Practice. We talking about practice? Not a game. Practice squad. Yeah, this is for the diehards of diehards today. So I won't keep y'all too long about a practice squad. But it was revealed. Not the whole entire thing, but most of the practice squad was dropped yesterday. And I want to break it down a little bit because I do think there is something that stands out about it. Okay, so just bear with me, all right? I know we're not talking about big names. We're not talking about trades. We're not talking about the season quite just yet. But, you know, the practice squad can be important depending on, you know, injuries and call-ups and all that. So let's talk about it, all right? That's what we do here. If you're part of the bomb squad, this is what we do.
Bomb squad!
I feel you, Toxic. Everybody needs their fix. Y'all are a part of y'all are degenerates just as much as I am a degenerate of the Dallas Cowboys, okay? So I appreciate y'all for being here. We're talking practice squad. I do have a couple things I want to add a little spice to it. I've broken this thing down into 3 categories, okay? And I also have a handful of free agents that I think should be added to it. Now, here's the thing. Again, we do this show in the morning. A lot happens during the show, so the Cowboys may fill their entire roster, practice squad roster, as we're doing this show. I'm not going to let that change the show, though, okay? Because I do think these free agents that I will be talking about at the end of the show make sense. I put some thought into this thing, and I also have a general thought about how the league does the practice squad rosters now. I think it's so much better than it was 10 or so years ago. So everybody stick around. AG, chill out, bro. Everybody stick around for that. In a roundup, Dallas did lose a couple guys, though. I really don't want to talk about the one guy they lost because I was ready to sacrifice the whole entire roster for him, I think. It's all good. Let's get to it, though, Cowboys Nation.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Let me talk to you. Oh my God, bro.
Tennessee Titans claim safety Julius Wood. Moving on. Nah, but seriously, I really wanted to get Julius Wood back on this team, man. Oh, God. But I get it. I absolutely get it. You can't possibly carry 5 safeties, right? Not unless you're Dan Quinn and you're running 3 safeties out there 90% of the time and one of them is playing middle linebacker. So you can't really carry 5 safeties. But I was surprised the Cowboys didn't really do much roster gymnastics. There wasn't a whole lot of knocking on doors and saying your ankles hurt IR. There wasn't a whole lot of, hey, let me go ahead and cut Trent Sieg because I know he's going to come back on the roster. Man, somebody should have stuck their foot out when Julius Wood was going home and tripped and said, he's hurt. IR. They let Julius Wood get away, and the Tennessee Titans claimed him on waivers. They didn't even let Julius. They said, no, we're not competing with teams and free agents. We're going to claim him And the Titans were what? But a top 10 team or something like that last year. So in the pecking order, top 10 in regards to draft order, in the draft order. So he was valued pretty high. And we talked about this yesterday. Usually, these guys clear waivers, but the Cowboys had an Isaiah Land situation happen last year. Could this happen again? And it did. Julius Wood is gone. Now, it's not the end of the world. I'm just selfishly talking about how much I like the player and wanted him on the team. But good luck to the young man over in Tennessee. He's got a lot of promise, man. A lot of promise. Would not be shocked if we hear this kid's name in the near future. Another guy that the Cowboys lost, Justin Rogers. So, I gave you guys the nugget yesterday and a couple days ago where Rogers is the first Cowboys draft pick to be cut before the season since 2019. Period. Right? Whether it's a first round pick, which you don't do that, or seventh round pick, he's the first one. And it's at a position I think the Cowboys actually wanted to get him back. I truly do believe they wanted to bring him back because he was a draft pick number one. That's number one. I don't think they would just give up on him in that sense. But Rodgers cleared waivers and signed with Cincinnati. I don't know Cincinnati's defensive tackle situation, but I wonder if this was a Rodgers decision or did the Cowboys not even approach him, which I find hard to believe. But maybe we'll get more information on that because Rodgers could have said, you know what, it's just not working out for me. You guys are bringing a whole bunch of veteran guys. There could possibly be a little bit of, because you have a first round pick. And maybe Rodgers say, you know what, I'll go somewhere else to see if I can stick on this roster a little bit better. So I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he signed with the Bengals. So that's the first Cowboys draft pick they will not retain for the season, whether it be practice squad, IR, whatever, since 2019, where they got rid of the Jackson 2, Michael and Joe, and Mike Weber, and it was one more. It was like a defensive end, like Joey something, I think, Joe something. But it's been a while. It's been a while since the Cowboys lost a pick. So Julius Wood's gone. Justin Rogers is gone. And I have to believe that they wanted to bring those guys back to the practice squad. Have to believe it. But don't fret. Don't fret. I've got options. Now, in regards to safety, I don't necessarily think they need to add a veteran safety to the practice squad. In fact, when we go look at this roster, the practice squad roster, they brought back the other safety that we didn't really talk much about in preseason, and he didn't stand out as much as Julius Wood in Amani Johnson, but Julius Wood was making those plays, hence why he's been picked up. So they did get back the other safety that they wanted. So there you go, Cowboys Nation. Thoughts on losing out on Julius Wood? I don't know if you lost out on Rodgers, but I think the Cowboys lost out on Rodgers. How we feeling here? Ridgeway was traded. They put him out there. They dangled him and said, hey, man, he's out for trade, which I think is hilarious, right? Dan Quinn drafts him. He wasn't great in preseason. He wasn't great at camp. I was down there at that camp. But he was a draft pick, and he was part of that attitude era, changing of the mentality. Goes to Washington, gets cut, goes to Washington, finds a role, gets his footing. They hire Dan Quinn, who drafted him and cut him, and said, nah, we're good to go, and got rid of him. So that is real strange. I wonder if Ridgeway, when Dan Quinn was hired, was like either A, hey, man, awesome, I got the guy that wanted me, or B, uh-oh, he cut me. Really weird. T-Dub says, tells me they didn't prioritize keeping them. For sure. It was going to be really hard to prioritize keeping a fifth safety with this scheme. One of the talking points, we talked about it with 2i, was, unlike Dan, he's not going to use three safeties a lot. I'd imagine he's probably going to be at the bottom of the league in that, in regards to at the same time. Now, he'll use three safeties in the sense of somebody gets hurt, need a breather, whatever. But he sticks with his two guys for the most part, unless guys get injured. Man. T-Dub says, so you're saying the Cowboys are being cute? Maybe with Rodgers. T-Dub, look, I'll get on the Joneses, but I would have preferred they got a little cute in trying to keep Julius Wood, which meant like, hey, I'll get rid of this tackle, Matt, well, let's go to keep Wood, or hey, Wood, we're going to give you that fake injury we gave Fehoko, something. I would have gotten cute. I don't think they got cute enough, if that makes sense. Let's look at this practice squad, though. Y'all ready? Now, there's offense, there's defense, and I'll run through these names here, and then we'll break it down because I actually have these guys in 3 different categories. Before I get to that, though, here's what I love, or let me not say that. Here is the silver lining about what happened in the pandemic season that the league is benefiting from, and it's the practice squad. I think they realized that they needed to extend the practice squad for the number of players and also include veterans. Because if you're able to include veterans, this is the second wave of making your total roster better, right? It's another clever way to build your roster to deal with contingencies. Prior to that, you were mostly dealing with young players, unproven players, 4th, 5th string guys, dudes who you didn't even want to see on the field play at all. It was just, hey, we're going to want to develop you. We're keeping you here because we need bodies. Now, you got to look at the practice squad totally different. You have to look at the practice squad as, hey, can I call up a potential veteran or player to help us out here? If something were to happen to one of our players that, we use special teams or has a role, can this guy come in and just hold down the fort until he gets back? This is the other way to extend the depth of your team. And I will say this, I think this is a good group. I do. And I break it down in 3 categories. And the 3 categories are veteran practice squad guys, developmental guys, and the guys that have been around the block. Now, here are the names. Offense, you got Dalvin Cook, who was signed yesterday. Reported he is going to sign officially. It'll happen, and he'll be on the practice squad. Malik Davis, Jalen Moreno-Cropper, Kelvin Harmon, Dakota Shepley, Josh Ball, and Princeton Fant on the offense. On defense, it's headlined by Carl Lawson, Keemon Hall, Josh Butler. Good to get those guys back. Denzel Daxon, Nick Vigil, Brock Mogeson, the rookie linebacker, and Darius Harris. Let me go ahead and list the guys and why I have them in these categories. The veteran practice squad guys. Easy to take a look at here. These are the guys who have played, right? The guys who, when you look at their resume, they've got actual game tape, years of experience, have played out there in meaningful games. That's Carl Lawson. That's Dalvin Cook, Nick Vigil, Darius Harris, and Josh Ball. Look, we did our whole spiel on the Dalvin Cook signing yesterday. It's a practice squad signing, so that does change it a little bit here, okay? This isn't a guy you're cutting somebody on the main roster for to bring him into a room that's kind of redundant. This is clearly a guy that, hey, if something were to happen to one of our Zeke or Rico, we got a veteran running back that we can bring in there. I'm not about to complain about that. I said it yesterday, would I've looked for some other younger legs, maybe somebody with more spring? Sure. They didn't like anybody out there. They went with Dalvin Cook. If he's a practice squad guy and you're only asking him to come in if something were to happen, or if somebody fails, say Deuce is not working, Zeke's not working, Rico's not working, and he's fresh and learning the system, shouldn't be an issue. Much like everybody in this running back room, if you're asking any of these guys to lead, that's a totally different story. So Dalvin Cook, we know his history. The veteran, proven, not the same guy in my opinion, but if something were to happen to your veteran running back, you know what he is. You're not guessing what he could be, right? Carl Lawson, we know what Carl Lawson is. Again, maybe not the same guy he once was, but can he come in and give you some punch at the defensive end position if a Tyrus Wheat is not working out, if an injury happens? He knows the system, understands Mike Zimmer, and understands how Paul Gunther thinks. Makes sense, right? Nick Vigil, Darius Harris have been around the block. Nick Vigil actually played with Paul Gunther, right? Tons of games of experience. Darius Harris is a Super Bowl champion, special teams guy in Kansas City. So when you look at how they've built the veteran aspect, and you got Josh Ball who's played games. He hasn't been good, but he knows the system's been around. When you look at the veteran aspect of the practice squad, I don't remember all the practice squad guys from 2020 to now, but I'd venture to guess this group is one of the more dependable groups if you needed to call them up. If I had to call up any of these veteran guys, you can say they either A, know the system, B, know their way around defense or offense. They've done it before. And I do think there is something to that. As opposed to years ago, you're like, I got to call up wide receiver 8 who hasn't played at all, right? I got to call. Now, running back's different. Running backs, I feel like running backs can always get plug and play. But I'm just, young guys who have not been proven. But then you have the developmental guys that that have been around a few years or rookies that you want to see develop, right? That's Brock Mogerson, the linebacker, Denzel Daxon, the rookie defensive tackle, Jalen Cropper, Princeton Fant. These are the guys that you want to see to continue to develop. But also, if something were to happen to one of these guys, much like the veterans though, one of these young guys on your main roster, they kind of slide right into that role. Princeton Fant and Hunter Lipke, for example, they're going to play the same exact damn role, right? That's what they're going to do. Now, Fant may be a little bit more athletic in that sense, but I feel like Hunter Lipke is more nuanced at his position. And I can't remember Princeton Fant, Tennessee, from a production standpoint. We know what Hunter Lipke is production-wise at North Dakota State. He was one of their best, if not their best, running back / fullback back there. But if something were to happen to Hunter and they want to continue to use that role, Princeton Fant has been there for 2 years. He understands that role. Boom, slide him in. Jalen Moreno Cropper, he's a developmental guy. But if something were to happen and you needed to slide a slot guy in there, not necessarily to start, but to make sure you have contingencies, been around for 2 years now, develop some chemistry with Dak, you could slide him in there. You could argue Kelvin Harmon serves a purpose in the sense of X wide receiver, bigger guy, possession guy, but I actually have Kelvin Harmon in a different category, but he serves that same purpose. Serves the same damn purpose. And the same goes for Brock Mogerson and Denzel Daxon. Young guys that are developing. I don't think you necessarily want to slide Brock and Denzel in there if something were to happen, but these are guys you want to stick around and to develop. Then you got the guys that have been around the block. What I mean by been around the block, I mean they've been practice squad guys their whole entire career, right? And that's Kelvin Harmon, Dakota Shepley, Keemon Hall, and Josh Butler. And of those guys, Keemon Hall is my guy. But Josh Butler, shouts out to him. I think he played his way back on this roster. Granted, he was never going to make the 53, but practice squad wise, he was feisty in this camp in preseason. But Keemon Hall, you know how I feel about him. I thought he was one of your better cover guys in preseason. He serves a purpose to be a slot guy if something were to happen to Jordan Lewis. I don't think you have a slot guy to slide in there unless they do Andrew Booth. If they use Andrew Booth, then that's a different story. But I think Keemon Hall could get called up and literally get called up and play in the slot for you. So, and then Kelvin Harmon, like I said, Kelvin Harmon, physical, huge catch radius. Something happens to Jalen Brooks. Something happens to Ryan Flournoy. Is he as talented as those guys? I don't think so. But he's been around for a while. He was drafted in 2019. So this isn't his first rodeo. He showed out in preseason as well, making some big time catches. So he serves a purpose in that sense. If something were to happen to your young possession type guys, he gives you that bigger body, go play special teams. You don't want to see him on the field, but if you have to, you hope it's kind of like what happened with Jalen Brooks. When Jalen Brooks had to play, Jalen Brooks made some tough catches. He was a possession guy and used that length and used that catch radius and did what he had to do. Now, I don't want to see him on the field because that means a lot of guys get hurt. But when you really break this thing down, it makes sense. I think it's a very complete, almost complete. Let me say this. Almost complete practice squad roster that serves a great purpose. but there's room. There is room, I think, to really take this thing over the top. And what I mean by over the top, there's a couple guys we're gonna talk about here in a second that I don't think just could be here for practice squad and just in case purposes, but if they were to play, could actually have roles that help you win. This guy, you talking about practice squad dudes to help you win? I am. Because some of these dudes I would have just signed flat out, but we're at this point now where we can sign veterans and put them on the practice squad. Extend your depth. That's the beautiful thing about what came out of the 2020 season. If you use this right, you have extra depth in case something happens. But you do have to have that balance. You don't want to have a whole bunch of veterans and nobody to develop. You don't want to have a whole bunch of developmental guys and then no veterans to count on if something were to happen. But I think they're balancing this thing pretty well. Let's wrap the Los real quick. Called in here. What's good with you, Los? My bad, brother. Hold on, let me get you in. There we go. What's good with you, Los?
Yo, good morning, Scott. Can you hear me pretty good?
Yes, sir.
Hey, just my two quick things, and I'll let you go, man. I hope you're having a great morning. We're on to Thursday. This is the last Sunday without football, and then here we go, all right? So my first point is going with three quarterbacks, Cooper, Trey, and Dak, and then having Zeke on our team, because if you know that bud in politics, right? We all knew we had to be aware of other positions. We needed to fall more heavy on depth, right? And I think that's why Walesko is on the 53, and I think that's why Josh Ball is on the practice squad. Because I think if Ball was to see the NFL field, it would be at guard. Because from what I hear, and maybe some reps and tackle, but from what I hear, a lot of people say is that he showed some promises in that position. And Walesko, I do believe he can be a great backup tackle and maybe a starter, but he has to win with his quickness with his hands, because I don't think he can win one-on-one with the quicker twitcher defensive ends, because if he doesn't have his hands on you, that's pretty much a wrap. So,
yeah,
you're
Josh Ball is a guard, so he's not a tackle anymore. He's a guard.
Yeah, and I'm talking about Walesko at the
right. But you said what you heard or what you've seen. Josh Ball's a guard, and we talked about it yesterday. That's probably why he's not on this team, because you have a lot of guards already, and with Let's Go, you don't have a lot of tackle depth. So that's probably what happened there.
Yeah, and who knows if Josh Ball? For God knows, we ain't gonna see him at the tackle position, because all saw how that panned out last. Yeah. But didn't he play reps last year at some tackle, or no?
No, they moved him to guard last year. He masqueraded as tackle in camp when there was significant injuries that happened. When I think it was Awesome got dinged up, Chuma was out, and Guyton was gone from practice. They had to slide him out there, but he is a guard now. They moved him to guard last year.
Okay, my bad, Scott.
Yeah.
But my last point is this. You have two practice squad roster spots. Technically you have three, but it's not official with Dalvin
got one now.
Cook yet. But with those two spots left, what positions would you want to kind of bring in to have more, like you say, depth, just in case for that panic button, injuries, because, it's a tough NFL season.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to get another running back instead of Cook. But, hey, it is what it is. But what other positions do you think we wouldn't have to get looked at? And that's all I got, Scott.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, Los. We're about to talk about that right now. Also, and see what I said at the top of the show? I knew this was going to happen. Appreciate you guys. Given how fast things happen in the NFL, figured there will be some additions happening during the show, and there has been. The Cowboys, according to Todd Archer, have signed or are signing cornerback Amani. I know I'm not good with names. Oruware. Amani Oruware. I think I might got that right. To the practice squad, per sources, he has started 36 games in his career with 9 interceptions. I I'm interested to go watch this guy now. So I'll go take a look at some of his film and see what's up with that. But looks like another veteran guy, 36 starts. What we talk about? Veteran guys, getting guys in here in case something happens. I'm not sure if he slides outside guy, inside guy, but because of the injury to Deron Bland, I do think this makes sense, right? Keemon Hall, Josh Butler, like you like these guys as young guys, but they haven't played. This is a cornerback who falls in that veteran practice squad category. Now, appreciate it, Special K. I'm gonna go ahead and give you some of my options, veteran options that I thought about. I put some thought into this. I didn't just throw things to stick at the wall. There were 2 spots open when I made this. There's 1 spot open now, so that changes things slightly because now you have to put a bit more emphasis on that position. And Los wanted to know, hey, who's the guy? So here are 4 options for me, Cowboys Nation, veteran options that I think make sense for the Cowboys on the practice squad. Number 1, and this isn't in any order. This is just how I'm going about it. Logan Thomas. I've liked Logan Thomas for a long time since he was in Detroit and converted to tight end. I thought one of the best converting quarterbacks to a different position situations we've seen in a while. And he's been a thorn in the Cowboys side for a good bit. And with the Cowboys underwhelming training camp and preseason for the backup tight ends, and really when you look at it, there's a lot of inexperience in that room too. I think it could do wonders to have another veteran guy on this roster. Hell, even for Princeton fan on the practice squad to learn from. It could really help. And if something were to happen, God forbid, to, I don't even want to say it, but Freaky Ferg, at least Logan Thomas has been in that position where he's been tight end 1 as a receiving tight end. He can give you that possession guy, tough catch guy, red zone threat. And again, he's a veteran. So I think Logan Thomas could be a sneaky good get on the practice squad. He got cut by the 49ers during the 53. I don't know if he's on the team right now, but I think he is a free agent when I last looked. So I think Logan Thomas could be a good get on the practice squad. Nose tackles, Carl Davis and Brian, I believe, Monet. Carl Davis is an obvious one. He was here for Cowboys training camp in a preseason game. He knows the system. He's been around. He's a bigger body for you because you don't have a big body on that practice squad room, right? And I think they wanted to get a big body back in Justin Rogers, but it didn't happen. So with the veterans that you have at nose tackle, you kind of got to have contingencies in case they get hurt. Love Jordan Phillips' potential upside in this scheme. He's a hurt guy. Linval Joseph is old as hell. But I love what he could do for you in spurts. He's old. He might wake up and have aches and pains. Who's the big body for you if that were to happen? Carl Davis has been around. Brian Monet. That's a big boy. I brought him up a few months ago, but I decided to go watch some of his 2020 tape. Dude is strong as hell. If he didn't tear his ACL, I do wonder if he's still playing. He tore his ACL at the end of the 2022 season, didn't play in 2023, and right now he's right down the street, y'all. Right down the street with the San Antonio Brahma Bulls. He goes 6'3", over 350 pounds, and look, I'm not saying this guy is Haloti Naha or whatever, but I seen this rep against the. Look, this is crazy. I seen this rep against the 49ers. I don't think I've seen a guy get disrespected that bad, a center, since Tyler Biadasz got disrespected by Vita Vea. Against the Chiefs, he walked back the center. He's a strong dude. Now he can only do this, and if you ask him to go too far out, he's just too big. But you need a big body. So cheap veteran guy in there. But Jerick McKinnon. Y'all know I've been trying to get Jerick McKinnon on this team since I realized he was a free agent. Jerick McKinnon could be such a sneaky ad. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen. They signed Dalvin Cook. They got Malik Davis here. I would swap Malik Davis out for Jerick McKinnon. I actually would have signed Jerick McKinnon over Dalvin Cook. But before we talk about on the field, off the field, Jerick McKinnon could serve a very sneaky purpose. This is a veteran back who is coming off of 2 Super Bowls in Kansas City with a offensive mind you can argue is one of the top 3 offensive minds to ever coach him up in Andy Reid. Oh, by the way, he's played with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time already. What better dude to bring in and say, hey, Jerick, what they doing over there in KC, man? What can you take away from Kansas City, Andy Reid, what he does schematically and things like that you think we can implement here? Andy Reid, Mike McCarthy, they come from West Coast. Andy Reid just has adapted his West Coast offense better than any, you could argue, Kyle Shanahan and those boys, McVay and those boys, but they've been doing this since they were in diapers, right? So you bring Jerick McKinnon in here to say, what can we add? What can we tweak here? Well, coach, we can do boom, 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 boom. Bet. All right, coach, how can I help you? Jerick McKinnon would come in right now, day one, be your best pass catching back, and it ain't even close. Well, Sky, I don't care about that. Well, you should. You absolutely should. Because let me tell you something right now. If the Cowboys run game does not go as planned, you're going to need a pass catching weapon to be a threat on offense. Now, you want your run game to work, and even if it works, you would love to have a pass catching weapon that's a threat. Jerick McKinnon in the last 2 years in Kansas City has 80 receptions and 13 touchdowns. Now, look, if he don't want to give us all the secret sauce, I know one thing he can come over and tell Mike McCarthy to do. One easy, simple thing. Throw the damn ball to your pass catching back. No reason why Tony Pollard shouldn't have had 80 receptions over the last 2 years, minimum. Probably more than that. No reason. So you bring Jerick McKinnon in here. I would get rid of Malik Davis. What is the point of Malik Davis at this point? Bring in Jerick McKinnon. If something happens to Deuce or Deuce doesn't work out, something happens to Rico, Jerick could be your third down back that, yeah, he's not a big blitz pickup type guy, but he is a weapon as a receiving back. Don't believe me? Go watch. The numbers speak for themselves. The film speaks for itself. He's a mismatch problem, really. You get him one-on-one with the linebacker, tough to deal with. Been that way his whole career, really. Does he get dinged up? Sure. That's why you sign him to the practice squad. You don't ask him to do anything but be that. So if I were to sign two in or not, you probably should sign a nose tackle. But if you're looking offensively and want to deal with contingencies, Logan Thomas, Jerick McKinnon make a hell of a lot of sense. Now, there's only one roster spot now. Only one. I would get rid of Malik Davis. But if you get rid of Malik Davis, that'll open up two. Let me see something real quick. Because I can get frisky here. I thought Denzel Jackson didn't count. Professor O, help me out here. Help me out here. I thought, did they put Denzel Jackson in the IPP program, the International Players Program or whatever? Because if that's the case, then I could open up three. But Logan Thomas, one of the nose tackles, and Jerick McKinnon, I think makes so much sense. They extend your depth beyond the 53, and they actually could provide something on game day if you need them to play. Tight end room's young. I love the upside with guys, right? Brevin Spanfords and the John Stevens. I love the upside, but they're young. And if an injury happens to your top guy, that's tough, right? You could bring in a veteran to help. The running back room, look, we we're probably going to be spinning that room around throughout the year, dealing with either injuries or play or whatever. That's just the way it goes, right? That position deals with a lot. But McKinnon brings something not just on the field, off the field. We've brought in a lot of guys, or just say a lot. We brought in a handful of guys that have Super Bowl experience defensively. But how many guys have Super Bowl experience, winning experience for one of the greatest head coaches of all time, in my opinion, recently, that actually could provide a role on offense? Not many. So those are my guys, man. How we feeling? Let me scroll back up here. Now, mind you, if you just joining this thing and you just heard me talk about McKinnon, you might be thinking, oh, well, Sky is blood. You know, Sky is just pumping up Jerick McKinnon. You know how people do. I'm talking about practice squad, y'all. I'm just talking about the practice. I'm talking about somebody get hurt. I'm talking about, other things they can provide. I'm not saying these dudes is going to come in here and be Marshall Faulk and Jason Witten and Lodi Nada. So let me just put that out there, boy. Y'all be on one. Twan, would you like a Jerick McKinnon type of player on this roster, sir?
I'm going to be honest, I would, but I got some other shit I got to get off my chest. How you
he got some issue on his chest. What's good, bro? I'm good, brother.
It is. It's definitely uh-oh. I low-key felt like you should have ended the show with me, but I'm appreciative, so I'm going to take it. You feel me? I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in
Damn, I disappointed my guy.
I'm disappointed in Brian Broaddus. I'm disappointed in Foots. And the reason I'm disappointed is because how y'all try to just blah Dalvin Cook. Now, let's put some things in perspective. We have an O-line last year with the Jets, right? He was also coming off shoulder surgery, and as well, he was going through something with his ex-wife, I believe. We are human too, so a lot of things could play into that.
Brother, I know nothing about his personal life. I just tell you what I see on film. So apologies that I didn't know his wife was out here doing some things and they was going through it.
So we mind you, we are human. But
how the hell did you pull that one out? Wife issues, dog? This is gonna be interesting.
No, but that's he really had that issue. No bullshit.
Fam, now, I'm gonna let you go, but please let me just tell you something right now. If you're gonna come on here and talk in this manner, please leave somebody's marital issues out of it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Now, for y'all saying y'all not that happy with the Dalvin Cook signing, being that he's on a practice squad, he will elevate.
Well, we don't know if he'll elevate if something happens.
I promise you, he will elevate. He's better than Rico Dowdle now. He's better than Deuce Vaughn now, and he's better than Hunter Lipke. Elliott and Dalvin Cook combined last year gave 100 yards, like 1247, something like that. Pollard didn't get that. Last year, I believe you were the main one screaming, it's about scheme, run scheme. We have better blockers now, Scott. I definitely believe we will scheme better running, Scott. Him, Rico Dowdle, and Zeke Elliott can give us 1,500 total. That's better than what we had last year.
That's not
Scott, am I wrong about that?
1,500 yards. If you 1,500 yards will probably put you in the bottom third. Professor, you want to check that? That's not a lot. From three running backs.
That much no, but at the same time, we didn't get that much last year, though, Scott. We're a passing team.
So your bar is to get 150 more yards. That's not my bar.
My bar is Dalvin Cook is better than a Rico Dowdle and a Deuce Vaughn, who y'all pushing up to be some kind of savior.
All right, Twan. I've tried to be as calm as possible with your tone. But who the is you talking to, sir? You got the wrong right now, fam. Not one single time did I come on this show calling any of these mother the savior. So let me just match your energy, okay? I'm not calling nobody. Fam, this running back room still an issue to me, okay? So you've got the wrong, take this energy somewhere else or go plug and go clip where you found me and said, Rico Dowdle's the savior. Deuce Vaughn's the savior. Get out of here, man. Stop that.
You didn't say that.
Stop that.
You didn't say that.
Hold on. One more. Hold the hell on, dog. Now, because now you're going to have me do one of my, this is my goddamn show. I tried to let you, with the tone you was coming at me with, but you got the wrong one, brother. Listen, okay? For the millionth time, I'm only telling you what I saw on film from Dalvin Cook last year. He didn't have that juice. Maybe it was because he was thinking about his marital issues at home. I don't know, Twan. Maybe that was the problem, okay? But if he, and I said this on Twitter, I said this to y'all, if he gets that juice back, oh my good, come on, man. Are you kidding me? But I haven't seen that type of juice from Dalvin Cook in a couple years. Yes, he had a solid year in Minnesota for sure a couple years ago. Running back walls hit tough, okay? Is his resume better than Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn and all these dudes? Abso-freaking-lutely. If he's healthy and who he was in the past, is he better than those dudes? Abso-freaking-lutely. I'm not going to argue that with you. I'm not even going to sit here and compare who they are, who he is to a damn Hunter Lipke and Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn because they ain't played enough. Now, if Rico Dowdle stays healthy, Rico Dowdle has the same type of traits as a Dalvin Cook. If you think Dalvin Cook going to turn back into 2018-19 Dalvin Cook, that's your opinion. I don't see that happening, okay? But I just sat here and said during the practice squad breakdown, if something were to happen to your veteran guys, Dalvin Cook serves a purpose. If something were to happen to one of your dudes in the room, whether they're not good or they get hurt, he serves a purpose. Just because I'm not up here like you sitting here twerking for Dalvin Cook does not mean I can't sit here and speak on him objectively. Now, sir, do you want to continue on with that energy or do you want to take it down a notch?
Twerking for Dalvin Cook
you
is
twerking.
Hilarious.
You twerking.
Because I'm not. And I actually appreciate this kind of energy because I kind of wanted to get it out of you because it's good for your show and I love your show. Now,
I'll lean into it a little bit, but yeah.
With that being said, guys, I'm back rooting for the Cowboys. I'm not even gonna lie.
Hold up. Time out. If y'all don't know who this dude is, so Twan called in like 4 months ago and said, I'm done. I ain't rooting for these dudes. I hope they lose. We signed Dalvin Cook and he ready to throw a damn parade. Get out of here, Twan.
No, I'm more so happy that, okay, he's trying to do something. Because honestly, Scott, I believe in Dak. So Dalvin Cook is going to be like an eighth. I really feel like our running will be better. Can you hear me now?
I don't know if you got me on speaker or it sounds like you keep bringing the phone, Yeah.
Okay. My thing is Dalvin Cook's going to be like a sixth, seventh option. I'm just more so putting it on Dak. I believe in Dak, and I believe in our running scheme will be better this year. We got Cooper Beebe. He's a mauler. We got Tyler Guyton. The line just looks different. So I believe running wise will be better.
I'm not going to fight you. If they block better and there's a better scheme, it'll be better. I'm just not about to sit here and predict that to happen because I haven't seen anything that showed that the scheme is changing. So that means that our guys, Cooper Beebe, who I think is going to be better as a power guy, will help you in between the tackles. I said this the other day. Guyton, I think we need to see a few games because it's been up and down from what I'm hearing at camp. You even saw it a few different times in the run game. Now, you also saw him maul dudes in the sense of throwing guys out the club. But I'm waiting to see the consistency from Guyton in the run game. That's going to take some games, man. That's going to take some games. But if the scheme is tweaked and they block better, which Terrence still healthy. Yeah, the run game should be better. I'm just looking for the run game to complement the passing game. I'm not looking for this backfield to carry this team. But that starts with the mentality, from the head coach. And then schematically, there has to be some type of tweaks, man. If they're going to roll out and just run down the A-gap every single out of shotgun ever, I have no confidence in that.
No, I don't think they're going to do that. But in closing, also, I was watching Brian Broaddus and Vach last night.
Shouts out to the We Doing All Right podcast.
And they believe that, the defense is going to carry the offense. Hell the fuck no. Hell the fuck no. Because we thought that last year, and at the beginning of last year, and that's not the case. The offense is going to carry the defense. We're still going to have a top 3 offense in the NFL because of Dak and CeeDee Lamb.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. They think the defense is going to carry the offense. Oh, okay.
They said that. Brian Broaddus and Vach said that last night. I was watching them live. That's a fact.
Sure. I'd probably say it'll complement the offense. I feel like with Dak in his pass game, it's going to pick up where it left off. Not in the playoffs, but after like week 6, year 2, maybe Lamb and him come out and there's maybe some issues the first week, but I'm confident in this pass game for sure. The run game, it just needs to complement it, and we'll see what happens. But I don't think the defense is going to need to carry the offense
at all. Peace and love, Sky. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys is crazy from Twan. Appreciate you, Twan. If y'all don't remember, he called in a few months ago and said, basically, I hope they lose every game. I'm tired of these dudes. I'm out. I ain't rooting for them. But I told Twan, I said, Twan, holla at me later on in the summer, dog. I bet you your tune gonna change. It happens. That's what happens, man. We get upset with this. It's a toxic relationship with this franchise, man. We get upset with them. We get mad, but come around this time, we're so excited for the season. But don't come on here telling me what I didn't say and how and what I feel when I've explained myself very detailed about a situation. Y'all do that a lot. Y'all take what y'all hear everywhere else. And maybe because I'm associated with, like, Brian's my guy, Vach is my bro, or whoever, Foots may have said something or something like that. And y'all come on here with that energy. Go take that elsewhere, bro. Because I'll match it. Y'all know I will. I seen y'all. Hey, y'all funny, man. Sky reaching in for his do-rag. I really might turn this into a bit. I don't really like to do it. Tell my wife this all the time. I don't like do-rags, Sky. But I might have to have a do-rag, like, just chilling right here. And as a caller is going off with some nonsense, the flap out. I'm a flap it out. I might have to turn it into a bit. We'll see. Yeah, T-Jack, I'm guilty by association. Why y'all doing that to me, man? Hey, if you think that was something, it's time for Toxic Takes. What's good with your Toxic, Tom?
Good morning, Sky. And I think I just had an out-of-body experience just now, just listening to that. And I'm thinking, wow, that's what I sound like? No, I'm kidding. Hey, man, if Dalvin Cook is your guy, and apparently his wife didn't even want Dalvin Cook's juice, so apparently maybe now he's good, now that he's got... I mean, I just always think of, I forget where it's from, it was like, this is your savior, but all right, whatever. I just wanted to say one thing. I have a completely random question for you about this team, mainly what happened yesterday, but shout out to Daxton. I know that you dropped to your knees and thanked the heavens when you found out he made the practice squad, because I know he's your guy. So shouts out to one of your guys. My question to you, and I'll take this answer off the line, is this. I was listening to the Rich Eisen show yesterday in my toxic office, drinking my toxic concoction, and he was talking about a quote Jerry Jones made about Dak Prescott, and I'm paraphrasing, about him needing to win more with less. So my question to you is, It seems like that they're negotiating through the media right now. If they don't get this Dak deal done, and they're drawing a line in the sand that says, hey, Dak needs to take less money or we're not going to give him the help that he needs to succeed, what long-term ramifications do you think it will have in that locker room if this goes south and it doesn't get done? And I will take this off the air.
No, stay right there. Stay right there, stay right there, Tox. I want to keep here.
Go ahead.
Because you said, and I'm paraphrasing again because I don't want to misquote you, but you said draw the line of if you don't take less money, we won't be able to give you as much help. It sounds like that it doesn't matter what the deal is, bro. He's not going to take so much less money that they're going to go sign a bunch of free agents. That's a whole nother discussion. But they're going to sign a whole bunch of free agents and pay a bunch of other guys on the team. Whatever money they agree to, it sounds like he's saying, and this is why I don't necessarily even listen to Jerry, but well, it doesn't matter what the contract is. Just get ready to have less is what he's saying. It doesn't matter if it's 60 or 58 or 55. That $5 million, $3 million, $2 million difference, is it going to be enough to pay some marquee free agent, which they don't do? I ignore this talk, in my opinion, because you don't use the funds to go out and trade for marquee young free agents that you got to pay. You don't go out and use that in free agency to sign high level tier 1 guys. If you're talking about not paying guys, you're basically talking about not paying your own, and that has its hit or miss mark, right? Hey, sometimes you've hit and on easy guys to hit on, the CD Lambs, the Trayvon Diggses of the worlds, right? You had your misses, then that's your own wrongdoing. You're going to blame Dak Prescott for paying Ezekiel Elliott 2 years before you needed to. You're going to blame Dak Prescott for paying Jalen Smith and paying the wide receiver Michael Gallup. You're going to blame him for that? That's on you, my guy. Think about the money had you not signed a Michael Gallup, had you not chosen to pick him over Amari Cooper, or look, I love Terrence, but had you waited to sign Terrence Steele, think about the money that had you not tagged a running back and a tight end, Toxic. That's not Dak Prescott's fault. So the reason why I don't even pay attention to what he's saying, because it's all bull sugar. It's BS, man. Because you're not using that money to go get guys outside the building to make your team better.
And it just strikes me as odd because I, at a young age too, realized I enjoyed team building. I like seeing how successful organizations, even outside of football, are built. And what are the patterns and consistencies that you see from the Kansas City Chiefs to the Philadelphia Eagles, hate saying that, to the Los Angeles Rams. And I look at us and I just see, I don't hear other teams saying anything remotely close to, we need to do more. This isn't the Marine Corps, man. Like, hey, I don't understand. Go ahead.
I said the same thing, bro. When I saw the quote, I said, I don't recall another. Maybe the Bills general manager might have said this, but I don't recall too many owners, that's for damn sure, coming out and saying, if we sign our top 10 franchise quarterback, it sucks because we're not going to be able to pay J-Ron Kearse in free agency. We're not going to go be able to pay Malik Hooker. We're not going to be and I'm joking around, but I don't recall too many owners saying that. I usually recall owners saying, hey man, I got to get this done. I gotta sign my franchise quarterback so that we can compete for this thing, and it's up to me to make sure that we put a team from coaching on down, around him and all of our other marquee players to be able to get it done.
I agree, and that's what I love about Dak Prescott is he's the definition of a professional. Really, people that are, I wouldn't say low-rent pond scum, but people that you can tell really aren't leaders, they always have an excuse. Dak Prescott takes a lot of strays for this franchise and takes it at the podium and takes it in the media every day, and you very rarely hear him ever come back with an excuse because he's a natural-born leader. And that is one thing I love about him. And to answer your question about Jerick McKinnon, would love Jerick McKinnon.
Me too, man.
What I hate about adding him, and this is per Vach and Brian Broaddus, which I encourage everybody, please go watch that because that is so insightful.
Bro,
if you don't know who Brian Broaddus is and his background, read up on it. He's rubbed shoulders with some pretty powerful people in the NFL. but I worry about who would they get rid of to bring Jerick McKinnon up. And I can't recall the last time they had a pass catching scheme whatsoever for the running back. So those are the two things. It's like, great, you bought this nice sports car, you don't know how to drive stick. And that is like the most frustrating thing about it. They're like a virgin on prom night. They think they have an idea what they want to do, but they absolutely have no idea what they're doing, and they're just going to run it into the ground and ruin it. It just seems like whenever they need to make the right decision, they don't know how to do it, and they just waste it anyway. That is like the worst part of this all. They're wasteful. So other than that, Twan, I'm happy that you got your cook. And hopefully he gets his marriage straight. You can go get his jersey. We can go celebrate the Super Bowl win when Dalvin Cook looks like he's 21 years old again. Y'all have a great day.
Shouts out to Toxic, man. Breaking news. Breaking news, the Cowboys have filled out the last spot on their roster. And unfortunately, it was not any of the veteran guys that I talked about. But it is a position. Remember I said I wanted them to go get a nose tackle. They did go get a nose tackle. They signed defensive lineman Phil Hoskin, 6'5", 315, he did play with the Panthers, but he was with Arizona last year, had 3 stops, 1 pressure, and 124 snaps. Again, 6'5", 315, only played 5 games for them. So there you go, 27 years old. He does fill the big boy nose, and I figured that was a position they were going to go get. They wanted to keep Justin Rogers. They weren't able to. You kind of had to go get another one because you have veteran guys in that nose tackle room. One is really up there in age. The other one has been a hurt guy throughout his career. So you had to go get another big boy. And we know Dan Quinn loves the fat boys in his scheme. So they went out and signed that guy. They went out and signed the cornerback. Let me get the name. Let's see here. Where we go? Did I say it right, y'all? Amani Oruware. Again, 9 interceptions throughout his career. I'm trying to go see a little bit more in his background. Bear with me, y'all. We doing this live. Boom, bow, bang. Not a whole lot. So, okay, he's a Detroit guy. He was drafted by Detroit in 2019, and he played a lot. So 36 games. We know he started 36 games, over 2,600 snaps. Let's dive in here. Okay, didn't play in 2023. Why? Active around the ball, man. 14 total pass breakups. 9 interceptions. He had 6 picks in 2021. Oh, I can't wait to go watch that tape, but that was a while ago. No picks in 2022. Did not play in 2023. Interesting get here. He's a longer corner, 6'2", 205. And he's predominantly a guy that plays on the boundary with over 2,100 snaps out there. But he has some slot snaps. So I don't think this is a guy that's coming in to be a slot guy. I'll do some more homework to see if this is a zone guy, cover 2 guy, man guy. But we know Zimmer is a coordinator who plays a lot of vision defense. Went back, after we had a conversation about Dono, I said, let me just go watch more of Dono recently, like coverage wise. The 2 picks he had last year were in zone. But what I did notice about, and even in the game against Green Bay, which I went back and watched that, I hated watching that. But to see where Donovan Wilson was, he was asked far too much to play cover defense, even in zone, from 5 to 7 yards from the line of scrimmage. Right? And sometimes he was fine with that, but I don't like that because sometimes what Dan Quinn would ask him to do is run with a guy. I told you that's not what I'm asking him to do. I don't want him to do that, right? But when Donovan Wilson was put on the roof, or Donovan Wilson was put on a hash back deep, you saw that Donovan Wilson, and if you go watch him early on in his career, he's firing downhill. He's making plays. Interception against Washington. Interception against Detroit. I think they have 2. Oh, yeah, 1, and then I think he had like a PBU in the end zone. Either way, not worried about it. But the reason why I want to go back and watch was I wanted to see how comfortable these guys looked when they were playing that vision defense at the depths they were supposed to. No issues with J. Lou. No issues with Malik. Got no issues with Dono. If J. Ron was on this team, I'd be shook. Gilly would have been able to do this perfectly fine. Duran would have been able to do this perfectly fine. He's going to be out for a little bit. Diggs is going to fit like a glove. Carson's going to fit like a glove. J. Lou's going to fit like a glove. Can't wait to see those guys out there. I'm going to go watch some tape on this cat and see if he fits that mold. Let me lock this up. I'm going to get to a couple people. Well, actually, one number that I'm not familiar with right now. 857. What it is, what it do?
What's going on, Skywalker? Still.
What's up with you?
Ain't nothing, brother. And man, as soon as homeboy said his name was Twan, all I could think about it was the check yourself, but wreck yourself from IQ. You know what I'm saying?
Check yourself.
Switch and snap. Right. Switch and snap, and you know what I'm saying? And now you just Twan. You know what I'm saying?
Man, now that I know Twan's game, I fell right for it, man. Twan was trying to get the Durax guy, man, and he got the flap out Durax guy. That's what he got.
Right. Ain't nothing, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm just ready to get the season started, brother, on next Sunday, brother. It should be very promising. You know what I'm saying? Jerry finally woke up out of the snooze fest. You know, he been drinking that Joe Biden Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? So, so hopefully, you know what I'm saying, they can sign my man Dak, bro. That's my quarterback, bro. You know what I mean? Like, real talk, brother. I know you a big supporter of Dak, and like I said, man, so strongly, brother. And I definitely appreciate all you guys, Mark Holmes, Botch, all the brothers that we got that's putting in the work for us, man, and keeping us in tune, bro. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, dog. Like I said this yesterday. We put in some work. Like, we put in a lot. And speaking personally, I don't come on here and just throw stuff at the wall, man. I try to do a lot of research, watch what I can watch, and then come here and, give y'all the honest opinion on that or a take, whatever you want to call it. Because I think y'all deserve that. You know what I mean? We get enough of BS on TV.
And not only that, you love what you do. You know what I'm saying?
I absolutely love it, brother.
That's the passion. That's what we all need when we go to work. You know what I'm saying? Love what we do. That way we don't mind coming in early. We don't mind staying late, man. But I definitely appreciate you, bro. I just want to give you your flowers while you're living. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
All right, brother. But yeah, man, we should have a week 1 on Sunday and a 425 game, and thank the Lord it's on Fox.
Hey, I got an announcement for you too next week, so stay tuned for that for our Sunday football game.
Sure,
yes,
brother.
Sir.
All right, brother, man. Good talking with you, Scott.
Yes, sir.
All
Take
right?
care, bro.
God bless you. All right, you and your family and your household, brother.
You as well, man. Appreciate the love, big dog. Appreciate the love. Or not Twan. See, we talking about Twan Lee. The new cornerback, Amani Oruware, is 6'2", 205 pounds. Surprised you don't know, man. Penn State guy, man. 5th round pick out of Penn State. I don't know how good he was at Penn State, but yeah, Penn State guy. It's working. Twan is crazy. Hey, Twan still on the horn. Hold on real quick. Twan, you there? They called you twerking Twan, dog. Oh, okay.
Ridiculous. I've never twerked in my
It's
life.
madness.
So that is ridiculous. But
Twerking Twan is
family,
mad.
so we gonna laugh about it.
We having fun,
all
man.
that-
Look, if you
all-
can't laugh at yourself on this show, you in trouble.
No, that's a fact. But all this, he got his Savior and the Dalvin Cook juice. Ha ha ha. Shoot.
All right, Twan. I gotta go. I just wanted to bring you in here, bro.
No.
All right, Brody. Twerking Twan's crazy. Hey, Maserati Mar, what's good with you?
What up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you?
Now, I'm just looking at Dum Dums. Everybody was talking that smack. You needed a young nose tackle to replace the old guys. But Jerry them got cute. Wheat should have got the one. Wheat dumbass should have got cut. Been here how many years? 2 or 3 years? Ain't made a sack of nothing. Man, get the hell out of here. That shit pissed me off. And then Rodgers was the best. Rodgers and the Rams D tackle, the young guy for the Rams. Them was the best 2 D tackles out of the whole preseason. Because I'll be watching. That's the only thing I was watching. for the football because we had a good team.
So you
the nose down. So Dum Dum, they was trying to get cute, and Cincinnati was trying to draft Roger, but Dallas drafted. So he chose Cincinnati because he probably was pissed because he's like, man, I'm playing better than all these, than Mozzie. Okay, I hope Mozzie play for us because he don't really like playing football. You could tell because when I was at the camp, they was practicing still. I walked by. I said, I was on the field when you pay for that special pass. I said, yeah, Roger's the best deep tackle out there. Everybody was looking.
Marv.
Clark Dave was looking at me.
Marv,
What's up?
Nate Newton said something the other day that really, it was heavy. When I was thinking about it, he was talking about how Nate was down there. How after every rep, you saw guys like Nealon and Fehoko and Micah Parsons is, hey, let's go, Mozzie. There you go. Let's go. And he was like, look, once you get in the NFL, man, if you need your teammates to hype you up every single day, every single practice, that's a problem. I mean, they're going to support you and everything, but you need to have that energy and that want to and that will to fight and bring that play in, play out, down in, down out by yourself in this league, because we don't have time to baby you. And, I know they're not giving up on him because he's a first round pick, but that was slightly concerning that Nate was like, to me, I didn't like what I saw in that sense because it then translated on the field. Mozzie Smith would have a good 2-3 plays, and then he's 2 series is not looking good, right? And then where's the motor? Where's the hustle? That is concerning.
Y'all. He was hard. And man, I'm gonna tell y'all something. You still and Vox, and there was a few other players, and Brian Vox. Rogers was the best D tackle in the preseason for the Cowboys, and we did I want to curse. We did the dummy thing again, just like we did with the big country. You see what I'm saying? We could have big country. Now Rogers, the young nucleus with the veterans, that would have been perfect. But no, try to get cute again. And we should have been put out the team, and if they pick him up, oh well. They probably kind of worried Dan Quinn was going to get. Who gives a hell? You can find a deep tackle. Because like me and you said, number 91 from the Colts is still out there. The deep tackle that's better than him anyway.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So Marv, they lost your boy, but they went out and they signed. Give me 1 second. Phil Hoskins. And they signed Phil Hoskins.
Oh my God. The dumbass Cowboys, man. That's why we be losing, bro. That cute shit, trying to be perfect. And the kid, I don't blame the kid. He could have went back to Dallas because you get to choose. He's like, nah, I'm going to Cincinnati, man.
Yeah, Marv. I wonder if he did it, brother. I wonder if he said, I'll be able to stick over here because y'all got too much politics going on over here.
He did. But still, that's what he did. I don't blame the kid. I was so mad yesterday still. I was hot. I said, we finally got a D tackle. And you were saying it. A young guy with an old guy. Perfect fit. Because me and you said here 2 weeks ago, I was like, me and you said, yeah, they're going to get the D tackle. They used to play for Minnesota. That's perfect. To put him with that young boy so he can rest his legs. You know what I'm saying? Dum-dums try to get cute. We gonna keep 91. And
Tyrus Wheat. Like you could have got Tyrus Wheat on the damn practice squad, man.
Come on, bro. Tyrus Wheat? That pissed me off. And they try to get cute and got buried again. Thank you, Cowboys. You dropped another D tackle that's gonna be in the lead a long time. Just like you did for the Redskins. We drafting D tackles, y'all.
We drafted D tackle. I feel you, brother. In closing, what you got?
In closing, man. Hopefully this guy can play, man. I want to see some. I gotta go see the tape on this guy. Is he getting moved like that other
I'm gonna go
guy?
check him out too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see what he played like. Thank you for man. Good show, bro.
Appreciate you, Marv. Look at Marv, ladies and gentlemen. Shots out. Who was that? Who called him that, man? I gotta give you props. Was that Miss Jackie? Miss Jackie from the top row. Liquor. You know why that's so funny? I actually believe Marv don't drink. I believe it. I don't think Marv drink, man. And every time we tell him he be out here sounding, but I don't drink. He's serious. But I felt like he did in the past, though. We love you, though, Marv. Hot Liquor Marv, Maserati Marv. What was the draft name we had? Y'all know the draft name we had from Marv. You also know what I appreciate about Marv. One more thing. And there's a lot of y'all that I appreciate in this sense. We get a lot of regular callers. We had a particular one who he tried to take over in a sense. Some of y'all have turned into characters of the show, and we lean into them. We have fun with it, but we also talk ball at the same time. I think that's what makes this community special. But y'all don't go overboard with the characters, right? There was a particular person who did and tried to make this thing about, him, and that no longer is the case. But I appreciate that about the regular callers here. Not all of you guys are characters. Toxic Tom, we've turned that into Maserati Marv, right? Twerking Twan. I can't do that to you. I'm not going to call you that, Twan. I'm not going to call you that. I'm not calling another man delicious. Delicious. Not doing it. Okay. But in all seriousness, we lean into the fun of the show, even if you have a character persona. But y'all don't go overboard. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for that. All right, super chats.
Super chat.
Today was fun as hell. Here we go. 29 Reckless Reactions. That's a hell of a name. That's a hell of a YouTube name. Dropped 2 and said Chiefs had less rushing yards than the Cowboys. Hate to be that guy, but what's your point? I'm not trying to be like. You gotta elaborate a little bit more. I wouldn't quantify the Chiefs as a rushing team, but I did a deep dive a while ago in regards to the Chiefs running game being complementary schematically and efficiently. Right, they usually are an efficient run team, and their scheme complements what they do offense and mirrors it. But yeah, sure. I mean, if you run the ball more than another team, you probably will have more rush yards. I'd imagine they probably ran more. But their scheme is better. I think their running backs last year were better, and they are more efficient and complementary. But sure, yeah, they I guess had less rushing yards. He also dropped 2 and said,
Super chat.
Head coaches and DCs are on 1-year deals, keeping vets, not development players. I guess that's what you mean. So head coach DCs are on 1-year deals, keeping vets, not development players. Yeah, I think you're basically talking about this practice squad. Yeah, I agree. If it's 1-year thing, you probably want to get more veterans on this roster to, fill in case there's an issue with the main roster. And that's true. Hey, 34 Blackula. I mean, you go look in the playoffs, them boys be running, right? Them boys be running. Cowboys.
Super chat.
615, shouts out to you. Dropped 10 and said, I'm here for the flap out flip. He said, good merch idea. Yeah, I might lean into it. I'm known to have a little fun with some bits, man. I might lean into it. I saw Boss in the chat. Hey, I didn't call him twerking Twine, but unless you're talking about he was twerking. Boss, I don't know if you heard the phone call, dog, but look, man, we ain't got to go that far with Dalvin Cook. You like him that much, that's fine, but sound to me like you think he the savior as opposed to you putting words in my mouth, dog. I'm saying, Twine, we love you though. Hey, Ron.
Super chat.
He dropped 5. He said it's easier to play safety in a 2 shell than a 1 over the top. Malik was the only guy that could really play single high, but all 4 should be fine in 2 high. Agree. 100% agree. You're already seeing it, I think, in like the practices and preseason with the young guys. I'm excited for the safety group. Told y'all this many times. When Mike Zimmer was hired, immediately we all thought about double A gap blitzing, what it could do for Micah. And I get that. But when you really dive into Mike Zimmer and you go look at his history, the one position group who has had the most success consistently under Mike Zimmer has been the safeties. And this group is a quality, talented group. I'd be shocked if they don't carry that on here in Dallas. I feel like at least 2 of your safeties are going to have really good years. Made that call from under the pillow. Hey, now somebody calling in the Vaches show. And they phoned it was going in and out. Sound like there was like a robot or something. And Vach was like, hey man, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but your phone sound like it's in the microwave. I love Vach, man. Oh, my bad, Cowboy 615. You dropped 2. He said, see, Twan, you did this to yourself, dog.
Super chat.
He dropped 10 and said, Twan, stop twerking for Cook. I'm going to flip my flap on your farewell Cowboys fan. Twan, stop twerking for Cook. I'm going to flip my flap on your farewell Cowboys fan. Twan back in the mix, man. Don't hold that against him. He was upset. He was feeling emotional about the loss and the situation in the preseason, man. I told him, I said it. I said, I'm going to let you have this, Twan, but you're going to be back. And he back, man. So I ain't going to do that to my guy. He been here day one. If he was some random dude who I ain't know and he said that, I would probably look at him a little differently because I'm like, wait a minute now. Don't be that bandwagon Cowboy fan. Shouts out to you, Smoke One. Am I missing something? I guess I ain't.
Super chat.
He dropped 5. Appreciate you, dog. He said, support for the channel, fam. Deuce average 6.2 yards. What are we saying? Wood should be here and Rodgers, we should be all right, though. 1, fam. They still say 1? I remember that was a thing. Yeah, so, yeah, Deuce 6.2. And I saw somebody joking about it on one of the comments. Like, it's preseason. Again, and this I did the same thing for Deuce that I did for Zeke, that I would do for Dalvin Cook, that I do for Rico Dowdle. I'm taking everything into account. Preseason, offensive lines, all that stuff. What I was evaluating was not the end result, right? But the actual player and his physical abilities. And what Deuce Vaughn brings is a complementary style to the backfield because of his physical abilities. I ain't gonna keep doing this every single day, but the physical abilities that I saw from Dalvin, with everything taken into account, offensive lines, all that stuff, it wasn't the same. Now, maybe it was the injury. Maybe it was his wife was out here sneaking out on him or something. I don't know, right? Whatever was on his mind. He was not the same physically. If he reverts back to a better physical back from years past, cool, right? Cool. Well, Sky, what about Zeke? Y'all know, I said this a million times. Zeke ain't the same physical back, but the difference is I think Zeke does have a special trait. What? Zeke, a special trait? Yeah. I've been saying this. You can laugh at me all you want. There aren't many red zone running backs that are better at finding the end zone than Ezekiel Elliott. There aren't. Now, between the 20s, different story. I think his role needs to change. His role can't be what it once was, and I don't think it will be. We'll see how often they use him in that way. But I'm not leaning on Zeke to be RB1, 250 carry type guy. No. But when you get down in that red zone, man, or you need to close out a game and he's fresh to do it. But mostly the red zone, I ain't too many dudes I'm taking over him. Maybe Derrick Henry. But Zeke know how to find that end zone. Dalvin Cook doesn't do that in that rate, in my opinion. The long speed's probably not there. We'll see. Is he even more shiftier than Rico at this point? Now, Dalvin Cook in the pass, yeah, brother. All I'm saying is, if we get 2023 Cook, if we get anything other than that, I'm all for it, bro. I'm all for it. I hate what happened here. Michael Wade Sky don't like Zeke, man. If y'all only knew, I got Zeke memorabilia. I got Zeke. I bought my son Zeke jerseys. You know what I'm saying? Hey Lee, playoff games when he was doing his thing, Zeke. But what has happened since I took over, since I've been doing this as a career, I can't be Stan, Homer, fan, Sky 24/7. I chose to be objective in this. And sometimes that is looking at some of your players that you may like or have liked in the past more than you do now and be real about it. That's what has happened. And that's just that, bro. I have no dislike for Zeke. I think Zeke serves a purpose, as I said a million times. But if you want to be the guy to give him RB1 touches from years past, I think that's a flawed thing. And if that's tough to hear, if that bothers you because you are a stand of said player, and that's fine. I was a dead stand for years. You could tell me nothing. You could tell me nothing about Tony either. Back before I started, Tony was my guy. I was fighting so many people that hated Tony Romo, bringing context to the situation. I was the same way. But I'm not in that mindset anymore. I've got to provide legitimate, objective observations to the Cowboys fans because I feel like I owe that to you, and that's my job. I digress. One more. I got a dope video of my son when he was like 1 year old with a Zeke jersey on, maybe 2, and he was talking about being a Cowboy. I wish I could find it. It was on Facebook. I'll post it one day for y'all. It's pretty dope. So yeah, we got a couple more up in here. Shouts out to JJ the mime. Okay, your mime, that's dope. He said, "No, man, I'm not repeating that."
Super chat.
Twan, yo, they killing you, dog. JJ said, "Throw that Twan." They killing you, dog. Reckless Reaction dropped 2 more and said, "You gotta." Oh no! Come on, man. I gotta leave him alone, man. Leave him alone. Smoke one for you. Dropped 2 and said, "Yeah, the 2 and 8, or the 2nd and 8, I'm guessing, and 2nd and 12 is over. Please, I hope, bro. I don't like second and long runs in general. That's what I really hope. Like if it fails on first down, man, put the ball into your the best option that you have on offense, and that's throwing a rock." My wife said she got the video. Send me the video. Man, one of my favorite videos ever of my son with that jersey on. Mike said, nobody's saying he's year 1 or year 2 Zeke. He hasn't fallen off. Like to hear y'all tell it, though. If you're saying y'all, you mean people in the chat, you mean me. I don't even use words like falling. How many times have you heard me say washed on here and falling off on here and things? I don't even do that, bro. I don't even get down like that, man. It just is what it is. He ain't who he once was. That doesn't mean he can't be useful. It's that simple. I get too dang tied up into the fandom and emotions of the player, man. I just keep it at the bean, and I'm done talking about it. We got real football we finna get into next week. Let's leave all this behind. Once we start prepping for the Browns and week in, week out, I hope we're done talking about this player versus that player and your feelings versus my feelings and all this and all that in regards to the players on the team. Because, bro, we gonna need them. We need every single last player on this team in this long 17-game, hopefully 20-game season, okay? And my focus is going to be shifting to how to defeat our upcoming opponent with the guys we have. Whether it's Zeke or Cook or whomever the hell it is, man. The collective, says Michael H. Hey man, if you want to twerk for Zeke, just say that. Just say that, bro. I'm done. Let me get out of here, man. Before I go on another rant. If you enjoyed today's show, please hit the like button on the way out. Share this thing. We back tomorrow. I might drop a mailbag today. And we should have Pat on tomorrow to close out the week. And then next week it's on, man. It is on. With that said, let me go ahead and find this thing. Yep, there we go.
Push the goddamn button.
Jokes. Sometimes I wonder for those who just jump up in here and they hear certain conversations, they be like, what is happening? I hope I ain't scaring you off, man. It's a fun show. It's a very interactive show. And it's only going to get better during the season. Stick with me. I think you like it. We out here. Peace. Facts, no Diddy, Mike. It is what it is. It is what it is.